David again spares Saul's life. The Ziphites went to Saul at Gibeah and said, "Is not David hiding on the hill of Jekeilah, which faces Jeshimon?" So Saul went down to the desert of Ziph with his 3,000 select Israel troops to search there for David. Saul made his camp beside the road on the hill of Jekeilah facing Jeshimon, but David stayed in the wilderness. He saw that Saul had followed him there. He sent out scouts and learned that Saul had definitely arrived. Then David set out and went to a place where Saul had camped. He saw where Saul and Abner, son of Ner, the commander of the army, had lain down. Saul was lying inside the camp, with the army encamped around him. David then asked Ahimelech the Hittite and Abishai, son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, "Who will go down into the camp with me to Saul?" "I will go with you," said Abishai. So David and Abishai went to the army by night, and there was Saul laying asleep inside the camp with his spear stuck in the ground near his head. Abner and the soldiers were laying around him. Abishai said to David, "Today God has delivered your enemy into your hands. Now, let me pin him to the ground with one thrust of a spear. I won't strike him twice." But David said to Abishai, "Don't destroy him. Who can lay a hand on the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? As surely as the Lord lives," he said, "the Lord himself will strike him, or his time will come and he will die, or he will go into battle and perish. But the Lord forbid that I should lay my hand on the Lord's anointed. Now, get the spear and water jug that are near his head, and let's go." So David took the spear and the water jug near Saul's head, and they left. No one saw or knew about it, nor did anyone wake up, because they were all sleeping, because the Lord had put them into a deep sleep. Then David crossed over to this other side and stood up on top of the hill some distance away. There was a wide space between them. He called out to the army of Abner, son of Ner, Aren't you going to answer me, Abner?" Abner replied, "Who are you that calls to the king?" David said, "You're a man, aren't you? And who is like you in Israel? Why didn't you guard your lord the king? Someone came to destroy your lord the king. What have you done is not good. As surely as the Lord lives, you and your men must die. But you did not guard your master, the Lord's anointed. Look around you. Where are the king's spear and water jug that were near his head?" Saul recognized David's voice and said, "Is that your voice, David, my son?" David replied, "Yes, it is, my lord the king." And he added, "Why is my lord pursuing his servant? What have I done, and what wrong am I guilty of? Now let my lord the king listen to his servant's words. If the Lord has incited you against me, then may he accept an offering. If, however, people have done it, may they be cursed before the Lord. They have driven me today from my share in the Lord's inheritance, and have said, 'Go serve other gods.' Now do not let my blood fall on the ground, far from the presence of the Lord. The king of Israel has come out to look for a flea, as the one hunts a partridge in the mountains." Then Saul said, "I have sinned. Come back, David my son, because you considered my life precious today. I will not try to harm you again. Surely I have acted like a fool, and have been terribly wrong. Here is the king's spear." David answered, "Let one of your young men come over and get it. The Lord rewards everyone for the righteousness and faithfulness. The Lord delivered you into my hands today, but I would not lay a hand on the Lord's anointed. As surely as I valued your life today, so may the Lord value my life and deliver me from all trouble." Then Saul said to David, "May you be blessed. David, my son, you will do great things and surely triumph." So David went on his way, and Saul returned home. David among the Philistines. But David thought to himself, "One of those days I will be destroyed by the hand of Saul. The best thing I can do is to escape the land of the Philistines. Then Saul will give up searching for me anywhere in Israel, and I will slip out of his hand." So David and the 600 men with him left and went over to Achish, son of Maoch, king of Gath. David and his men settled in Gath with Achish. Each man had his family with him. And David had his 2 wives, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail of Carmel, the widow of Nabal. When Saul was told that David had fled to Gath, he no longer searched for him. Then David said to Achish, "If I have found favor in your eyes, let a place be assigned to me in one of the country towns, that I may live there. Why should your servants live in the royal city with you?" So on that day Achish gave him Ziklag, and it has belonged to the kings of Judah ever since. David lived in Philistine territory a year and 4 months. Now David and his men went up and raided the Gershurites, the Girzites, and the Amalekites. From ancient times these people have lived in the land extending to Shir and Egypt. Whenever David attacked an area, he did not leave a man or a woman alive, but took sheep and cattle, donkeys and camels, and clothes. He returned to Achish. When Achish asked, "Where did you go raiding today?" David would say, "Against the Negev of Judah, or against the Negev of Jeremiah, or against the Negev of the Kenites." He did not leave a man or a woman alive to be brought to Gath, for he thought they might inform on us and say, "This is what David did," and such was his practice as long as he lived in Philistine territory. Achish trusted David and said to himself, "He has become so obnoxious to his people, the Israelites, that he will be my servant for life." In those days the Philistines gathered their forces to fight against Israel. Achish said to David, "You must understand that you and your men will accompany me in the army." David said, "Then you will see for yourself what your servants can do." Achish replied, "Very well, I will make you my bodyguard for life." Saul and the medium at Endor. I will get to that next time. I will see you guys in the next video.